raised in a Mexican household filled with Mexican traditions. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit more about what's the Mexican culture and the traditions that it has, the general facts about Mexico, and what you need to know before traveling to Mexico. Some general information that I'm going to tell you according to the Culture of Grammar Online Edition ProQuest 2019. Mexico is actually bigger, 3 times bigger than Texas. My father is from Mexico City, so Mexico City is known as the capital, or is the capital of Mexico, and in Spanish it's called La Ciudad de Mexico. Mexico owns one of the largest petroleum amongst the whole world. But that's not where all the money's coming from. How they get their money and how their economy is flowing is through the tourists that they have, that they give, and a lot of people love to go to Mexico. The President of the United States, his name is Andrés Manuel López Obrador. He's the current President of the United States. And this is all according to the Grammar Online Edition ProQuest of 2019. In Mexico, Spanish is the #1 speaking language, but there are over 200 indigenous languages, including the Mayans and the Aztec languages. Their dialects is so different from each other. There's 108.7 million people living in Mexico at the moment, and 62% is Mexicans, or as you say, Spanish, and 28% indigenous, and the last 10% are from the European ancestors and their ancestry. And this, I got it from the Wordmark Encyclopedia of the Culture of the Daily Life by Timothy John. Now, transportation there, not a lot of people have cars, so the way they transport from one place to another, they either use buses, so-called mini buses, and some have substations or taxis. I personally have used all of them, and in order to pay, their currency is called pesos, which is basically the Mexican currency of Mexico. Mexico has everything authentic when it comes to food, music, and their holidays, the traditional holidays. For example, the main dishes of Mexico, they're known as the tacos. You can't go wrong with tacos. The tortas, the enchiladas, pozole, quesadillas, and tamales. But there is so much more than just that. There's usually 3 traditional Mexican music, which is rancheras, corridos, or mariachis. Those are the mostly traditional ones that you could say that's Mexican right there. And this is all through the Grandma Online Edition ProQuest of 2019. The holidays. Mexico has a lot of holidays. Whether if it's a day, for example, the Day of the Dead, El Día de los Muertos, Cinco de Mayo, and the Nochebuena. Nochebuena is a tradition that is due on. It's like basically kind of like Christmas Eve, but in Mexico they call it Nochebuena. Before visiting Mexico, there's things that you need to know before going. One, don't get offended if a person is trying to get your attention. You know, that's the way they usually get your attention is either by, you know, hand motion or, you know, they try to whistle, you know. Be careful. Another thing is be careful how you greet for example, if you're going to someone, you meet somebody, let's say if it's a female, depends, if you're really close to them, you have the right to kiss them on the cheek. So you give a handshake and you kiss on the cheek. But if you're not really that close or you don't have that close relationship, you just do the handshake. Doesn't matter where especially if you're a male. But if you're a female, it's okay for a female to, you know, give the cheek to the other female. That's totally fine. It's totally acceptable. While Mexicans speak to you, they it depends. It kind of varies whether they do look at you, where they do have eye contact with you, or sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just, you know, they just don't, but they still keep talking to you. And another thing that they do is they use a lot of hand movements. There's a lot of hand movements while trying to interact with you. And another thing is that you don't really get a lot of personal space whenever you're talking to a Mexican person. You know, they like to be around you. You know, like just having a conversation, just, you know, connecting with that person, I guess you can say. And I mean, they love to express themselves, you know. So now that I've told you general facts about Mexico, their culture and their traditions, maybe you should go to Mexico and see how you will like and to experience that culture and embrace the beauty that Mexico has to give for you guys. Thank you.